Hi everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to do paper mache, and you can use pretty much everyday household items to create a paper mache artwork. You'll also need wheat paste, which you can buy from most art stores. So this is a wheat paste and water mixture, which is the glue for paper mache. So to start off, you'll need to make the structure that you want using newspaper, and you can use cardboard and masking tape. So you can pretty much think of your newspaper as your clay or your medium for forming whatever it is you want to make. So it's more moldable than you might give it credit for. And if you want to make like a round shape, I always have a bunch of tape strips ready to go, and you just tape your form together until you have your structure. So here I have a little fish that I started, and I added the fins on with cardboard. I'm gonna add the other fin on so you can see how I did it. So you wanna use excuse me, as little tape as possible, both because it's a waste, obviously, and also the paper mache is going to look more organic if you have less tape and more paper. So this would be something that you could make an organic form. You can also make a more geometric form. Let's say you want to make a letter for your name, or you want to make a box. You can easily make any geometric structure with cardboard. So this is just very thin cardstock cardboard. So I'm using as little tape as I can because I don't like to waste things, and it's not great for the environment. So here's a little geometric cube. And then with cardboard, you can also make more organic shapes as well. You can bend cardboard like this, and you can add more strips to it. So to make more tape strips, I just pull my tape. I have a bunch of these just like ready to go because I always need to grab some, and it's annoying to have to make them over and over. So if your form is not staying put, you can obviously add more tape. I like to make a hinge, so like one on both sides for fins. If you want to make a symmetrical shape, like I made these fins so that they are the exact same size, you have, you cut your first one and then you have a template so you can sketch your second one on a piece of cardboard. And then you have a symmetrical shape that you can cut out. So this is the final result for like an organic form. This is a sea rabbit, I've been told, my student made, and this is the result for a more geometric form. The student wanted to make a mask that was a dome, so they used a template. They started with the template, and then they used cardboard to construct the whole entire dome. All right, so to do the actual paper mache, I have my wheat paste water mixture. I use about 1.5 tablespoons of wheat paste, and then I slowly added in warm water and stirred it. You want to have as few lumps as possible. So think of it as like pancake batter. You want to have a nice glue, or a little thinner than pancake batter. If it's too thin, it won't stick. If it's too thick, it's hard to handle. So once you have your wheat paste mixture, you can take the brush out, and then you should have a bunch of strips of newspaper. These are about an inch wide. So the smaller your structure, the smaller your strip should be, so that you can kind of handle it more easily. So you can obviously rip, and then you dip your newspaper, or you can use regular copy paper strips, and you start to apply it to your form. So you want to wrap it around as tightly as possible. The less tight, the less it'll look like a solid form. So here's a very cute example of a little sea otter. The student did a really great job wrapping everything, but you can see like here, it's wrapped a little loosely, and if they were tighter, then you have more tight hold from each section of the structure. So you just keep applying paper mache to wrap around your form. It has to cover the entire form completely. You kind of think of it as like mummifying it. There can be no holes. It has to be like a solid skin. And my advice is to cross hatch your paper strips so that it's woven almost. And that'll be a lot stronger than if you just apply the strips side by side. It can sometimes slide completely off if you do that. So when you encounter like this fin here, you want to use a little smaller of a strip so you can rip your newspaper in half. Try to do like one fell swoop when you rip it. So I want a little smaller because I'm dealing with a smaller detail. And then I just kind of let it fall organically where it wants to when I wrap. So you want to avoid gaps like this. So you want to press it closer to the form. And you just keep going till your entire structure is encased. Sometimes 2 layers is necessary. You'll know when, as you start, like if the structure, once it's dry, it takes about, I just give it 24 hours to dry. Maybe 12 is fine, but I usually just say wait overnight. You'll know if it needs another layer, if there's holes and there's gaps. Another layer is always just gonna help your structure be stronger. So every layer you do becomes more cemented. So I would keep going with my fish till it's completely enclosed, and then you gesso the structure with, it's a white acrylic paint. That will make your paint stand out a lot more brightly when you go to paint the final with acrylic. You can get gesso from any art store, but it has to be gesso paint. So there's my organic fish. You want to use a board. I use just binder covers that have plastic, so it'll peel off easily. When it's dry, it won't stick to this. So let's say I want to cover my geometric structure. Same concept. You're wrapping the whole thing. It's a little easier because it lies flatter than an organic form. But still, I like to go across and not just perpendicular, but more diagonally when I'm applying these. And cross hatch. And you can keep turning your structure so you see where the gaps are in your strips. All right, so that's kind of how you do paper mache. The wheat paste, it'll go bad. It actually goes sour like flour would. So it can last a day maybe, but you wanna dump it out after a day because it actually goes bad. And I always have a little trash bin next to me for gibbles of paper or cardboard that I'm not using, so that, you know, it's easy to just dump that into the trash can. All right, well, I hope that helps, and I hope you have fun doing paper mache.